I'm Rick Henson with this Western Iowa News Update for May the 31st. The mayor of the tiny southwest Iowa town of Randolph isn't sitting back and quietly accepting a possible proposal to close the town's post office. Mayor Vance Trively says he's demanding financial information about the post office and has put postal officials on notice that he will fight a possible closing of the Randolph post office in the southwest Iowa town of about 170 people. Trively also has talked with state and federal lawmakers. Mail volume has dropped about 20% in the past 4 years, and the U.S. Postal Service plans to close or consolidate some 2,200 post offices across the country. Randolph's residents say closing their post office is not a solution, suggesting instead a cut in bureaucracy. Trively suggests a 10% across-the-board cut. Residents of a Riverside subdivision near the northwest Iowa city of Sloan are calling for help in filling sandbags. The work of the River Woods subdivision is scheduled to begin this morning at 9 o'clock. Volunteers are asked to bring along shovels and gloves. Sloan and other Iowa towns along the Missouri River have been preparing for more flooding. Water has already spilled over the banks in several low-lying areas along the river in Nebraska and Iowa. In Omaha, the city installed floodgates Sunday to keep rising water from seeping into the downtown area. The Army Corps of Engineers warns that the high water level and flooding issues will likely worsen over the next month as releases from upstream reservoirs reach historic levels. No one was hurt when a small plane crashed at the Sioux Gateway Airport in Sioux City Monday. The accident happened at around 8 a.m., and it appears that only the pilot was on board, and he was walking around and talking afterward. The pilot declined to comment, and it's unclear what might have caused the crash. Republican presidential candidate Tim Pawlenty will be making the rounds in western Iowa this week. The two-term former governor of Minnesota will be in Sioux Center, Le Mars, and Sioux City today, and in Council Bluffs on Wednesday. His first stop, a coffee with Governor Pawlenty, will be at 8:30 a.m. at Casey's Bakery in Sioux Center. Later this afternoon, he'll visit the Blue Bunny Ice Cream Shop in Le Mars at 2:30, and at 7 tonight, he'll appear at the Sioux City Library. Tomorrow, T-Paul, as he's called on his website, will stop at Tish's Restaurant in Council Bluffs for a town hall meeting that begins at 9:30 a.m. Pawlenty kicked off his campaign last week in Des Moines with the announcement he intended to run for president in 2012. He told the crowd at the state capitol that the country is in big trouble and it'll take a new and better president to fix things. He says that means phasing out federal subsidies for ethanol. And that statement prompted a response from the ethanol industry. Go to the heart of the oil country and give a speech there about ending petroleum subsidies. A Council Bluffs insurance agent was recently selected to become a member of Republican Mitt Romney's Iowa presidential leadership team. Steve Cates, a former Pottawatomie County Republican Party chairman, says he was approached by the Romney team to join the group because of his support of the former Massachusetts governor and businessman's presidential campaign in 2008. Cates says Romney is a proven leader, and everything he has done has been successful. The Atlantic City Council has several resolutions to act on during their meeting Wednesday evening at City Hall. Included among them are resolutions pertaining to approval of contracts and bonds for the Portland cement, concrete, and hot melt asphalt paving projects, the Sunnyside Park Road resurfacing and parking improvements, Bull Creek Pathway resurfacing, and city sidewalk repair projects. The council will also hear a report from the city's Finance Committee with regard to a proposed development agreement with Boulders Inn and Suites. The committee will meet today and present their recommendation to the council on Wednesday. City Administrator Doug Harris said while there is currently no signed agreement with Boulders, negotiations remained ongoing, and he's hopeful an agreement can be reached in time for a public hearing. The council will decide Wednesday on whether to approve a resolution setting the date for the hearing on the 15th, but if an amendment is not reached by the time their meeting takes place, the resolution and action on the matter will have to be tabled. Harris said the latest proposal presented by Boulders developers is for a $125,000 upfront grant from the city and a total of $41,000 in tax rebates. The developer would also realize another $42,208 in tax avoidance savings. The incentives package would end up costing the city $247,464, or about $5,824 less than what the city offered last May. The biggest advantage, according to Harris, is that the tax rebates would be spread over 9 years and rather than 4. The extended time frame, he says, also allows the city a better cash flow and ability to fund other needed public improvements. In other business, the council Wednesday will act on authorizing Mayor Dave Jones to sign a 5-year agreement between the city and the Iowa Department of Transportation for maintenance and repair of primary roads. It will be in effect from July 1st, 2011 through June 30th, 2016. The Atlantic City Council meeting begins at 5:30 p.m. Wednesday. And nearly 100 people have been tested in connection with the measles case that state health officials are treating as a public health emergency. Most of those people were passengers on a flight from Chicago to Des Moines on May the 11th. A child who later tested positive for the measles was on the American Airlines plane, flight number 3965. Iowa Department of Public Health Medical Director Dr. Patricia Quinlisk says measles is easily spread and can cause serious illness.
It can indeed cause permanent damage, such as brain damage, things like that. And also, even with good medical care in people who are in good, condition, it can still cause people to die. So it is a disease. We take this disease very, very seriously, and we do want to make sure that we stop anybody from getting measles if we can.
Iowans who were on the flight or visited Mercy Central Pediatric Clinic or Mercy Medical Center in Des Moines on May the 14th may have been exposed to the measles. The symptoms include fever, cough, red or pink eyes, runny nose, and a rash. Quinlisk says people who suspect they may have the measles should not go directly to the ER or their doctor's office.
What you need to do is call your healthcare provider ahead of time. Say, I need to be seen, but I think I might have measles, and they will arrange for you to be seen in a way that's safe, not only for the healthcare provider, but so that you don't spread it to any of their other patients.
Iowans who are not sure if they've received 2 MMR or measles, mumps, and rubella vaccines should contact their healthcare provider. Quinlisk says people who are vaccinated have a 99% chance of never getting the measles, even if they're exposed to the disease. Those older than their mid-50s and know that they had measles as a child also do not need to be vaccinated. I'm Rick Hansen, KJAN News.